Hey, welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Row. Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks, David.
Good.
Hey everybody.
Neither of us are drinking yet tonight, so we're a little behind the times. No mimosa for you tonight. This is exciting, huh? Obviously, we're doing another part of our search to find my favorite bourbon. Tonight, we're going to be doing another group of 5.
Are you learning something?
Yes. So a couple of you guys have actually made comments in the videos about some trends that they're noticing. One is that I'm tending to go to lower proof, and that's true. In the past few videos, I have tended to go to the lower proof ones, which maybe because it's summer and hot and whatever, so maybe that's impacting things a little bit, or maybe that's just my natural preference. Don't know.
Before we start, I had a question.
Yes.
Since all of you have been commenting on my bottle opening skills, I was going to ask David, let's open a bottle. Is the 1910... Okay, yeah, let's open the 1910. I actually really liked the 1910 the last time that we taste tested, so I'm going to have it again tonight and sip on it.
I was like, what do you want me to make you before you start filming? And she was like, nothing. I just want some of that other one that we had last time, that 1910 thing or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah.
I've had dinner, I'm ready for dessert.
Nice. I love it. I love it. People have been saying is you just grab it and you twist it this and
So
that
straight up.
Yeah, that risk actually tearing the cork off.
All right.
Something like that.
Let me practice here, guys.
Perfect. Now you won't break the cork, or if you do break the cork, nobody can be mad at you for it. That's probably more like 3 ounces, but that's okay. None of us are complaining. We love it that you're drinking bourbon. Okay, so if you haven't been watching these, basically how this goes is Jamie has the bracket in front of her. There are 2 groups that she can choose from. So I'm going to step out. Jamie's going to choose and start pouring.
I'm going to cheers to myself for learning how to open a bourbon bottle.
I really want a bourbon really bad right now.
I know.
I'm going to leave so you can
smell it on me.
I do. You smell like a whiskey woman right now. I like it. Don't do that. That's not necessary.
Let's see, what am I gonna choose tonight? This is good, guys. It's like a Sunday. I'm gonna go with group 1. Well, we'll see if that's the right one, because I'm kind of mixed up. Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, Wilderness Trail, 4 Roses Small Batch Select, a Maker's Mark 101, a Baker's 107. I'm really digging this ice cube in here in the cold. Tastes even a million times better. The more and more sips I have, it's even better. Wow, this one, old Jack's gonna have to stay in the bottle for me because I'm not trying that one. 129 proof, no thank you. So I am going to try the Wilderness Trail. Most of the bourbons I've tried have been very sweet, whether it's creamy or dessert-like, and this one kind of smells spicy. I'll give it a taste. I cannot at all tell you what I'm tasting right now. I don't love it. All right, let's mix them up. I think we're ready. David, I tried one of yours too. Okay. I tried your lowest proof one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, well,
Wasn't as good as the 1910?
So it had a completely different flavor, and I'm not used to trying anything that hasn't been sweet, because usually, you know, you're telling me what's sweet, and those are the ones I usually go for. So I just picked out the lowest proof one, and it was kind of a different, different flavor. I didn't even know how to describe it. So
okay. This smells like it's got a little bit of proof on it. It's got a little bit of a berryness, kind of a raspberry on the nose. Almost like a kind of a grain maltiness on the nose. It smells pretty good. So on the palate, this has, I feel like this might be a kind of a mid 110 proof type of thing. Really good mouthfeel. It feels like it tastes really good. It's got this really kind of sweet, intense honey, the touch of butterscotch, and like a floral characteristic. A bit of clove, a little bit of black pepper. It's really good. This is a good one. This one smells a lot younger, kind of grainy. It's got a nice kind of honey sweetness with a touch of like a dry vanilla. Not much herbal or black pepper or anything like that though.
I'm really digging mine. It's really grown on me.
I'm so proud of you for drinking bourbon. I really am. Like, I know it's a stupid thing to say,
Why?
but I really am proud of you for doing it. I just am.
Is the bottle I'm drinking, is that expensive?
It's about 50.
Oh, that's not too bad. About average, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good price for a good bourbon. This has like a really light floral quality with some clove, a little bit of herbalness. It's sweet, but it's kind of a very mild sweetness, almost like a very faint maple syrup and caramel.
I move these to my side of the table.
Sold them.
It's something about this combination that keeps me coming back.
So this one has a bit more herbalness than the others so far. There's a nice kind of caramel sweetness under that, but it's not a dense caramel. It's kind of just like a light, airy caramel. Almost a little bit of like a pear fruit. I don't get pear very often on bourbon. This is very light and floral. There's a hint of vanilla.
I mean, I gotta say, you definitely can sell a bourbon there. Like, I'm like, would I like that?
It's got a little bit of a barrel char. You want to try it? Don't drink it all. I have to do the tasting still.
Yeah, I can't do that one.
Too much proof.
Ooh, but afterwards, then all of a sudden it just pops. That.
It's
What is that? Like honey?
Yeah,
Is
it's like
that
a
what it
honey
is?
and flowers.
If I could just skip right to that taste, I kind of don't. I like that.
This one I'm getting a lot more cereal grain, almost like cereal with milk, some creaminess. The sweetness is there. It's very mild, almost like a syrup sweetness. There's not really much character to the sweetness on this one. And just a hint of floral, very, very, very subtle herbalness. Okay, this has a lot of kind of cereal qualities and grains. A little bit of a fruitiness, almost like Fruity Pebbles and milk. Yeah, that's one of the things in bourbon, the flavors that I don't love is when I get a lot of like cereal, like milk and cereal taste to it. This has a lot more herbal on the nose. Smell kind of the herbalness.
Oh, wow.
The sweetness in it is very, very mild, but it's kind of a honey sweetness. A touch of caramel under there too. Some clove. This one tastes like it has a bit more proof on it. It's got a really good mouthfeel. It's got a really good, strong finish. The finish goes to kind of a spicy herbal, but it continues this like honey sweetness throughout, which is actually kind of pleasant. It has kind of a lot of character on this one too, which some of the other ones didn't have. It's pretty good. I like that one.
Would I like it though?
No.
Okay.
It's just that the combination doesn't go sweet. It goes more to like an herbal, dense, more complex bourbon that doesn't have a lot of sweetness. Whereas that goes to like dessert in your mouth.
Right.
This doesn't do that at all. But it's good. These crackers are exceptionally good.
They are really good, especially after you're drinking bourbon. So, like I said, this combination keeps me coming back. And I kind of like you too.
Well, you tolerate me as long as I bring you bourbon, crackers, or mimosas or something. So we've gone through the 5 now. Now we're going to rank them. When you come back, we're going to put them right on the pedestals. This was actually a really difficult one because none of them stood out as exceptional and none of them stood out as bad. Normally, like there'll be a difficult part where like, okay, well maybe number 1 and 2 are close and then the others. This one, they all were really, really close.
Let me ask you a question though. When you did the grouping,
yeah,
of your top 25, how did you decide to put them in the different groups?
Well, what I did is in every group, there's a high proof one, then there's something in the like mid 110s, and then whatever else. Because I didn't want one group to be all high proof, and because I wanted all the groups to, at least on paper, to not be able to give me clues as to what group it is. But I do have my rankings, so let's just jump into that. Number 5, number 4, number 3, 2, and 1. So I don't know what it was about number 1, but there was this really kind of nice balance that this first one had. It wasn't sweet, it wasn't necessarily spicy or cinnamon or whatever. It just was a nice blend of everything, and it just kind of came together really well. Let's take a look at the group. Let's see what group we got.
I got the paper. Let me see which pocket's in. Wait, I don't got the paper.
Wait, where's the paper? You're such a jerk. You can't let me drink this much and then start messing with me because I'm such a sucker for it.
You can have it for $5.
Done. I'll give you $5 later.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Group 1? I'll say it's group number 1. So it's Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, Barrel Proof, Wild Turkey, Kentucky Spirit, Four Roses, Small Batch Select, Maker's 101, and Baker's 107. I'm really nervous about this now because I feel like one of my favorite bourbons is not going to get picked.
Wait, before you do this, can you refill my drink?
Music to a man's ears. Would you like some bourbon, madam? The old barkeep will get you some bourbon.
Stop being weird. There
you go. This one will actually be better because it's got a smaller cube and it won't dilute so much. All right, let's get these down.
Yeah.
Jack Daniel's. Maker's 101.
Four Roses.
Four Roses Small Batch. There we go. Baker's. Oh, I love my Baker's. I hope it's in the top 2.
And we need one more. It's the Wilderness Trail.
No, the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. Your hesitancy is making me very nervous. Did you mess up?
Yes. And I even sat and looked at the bottles. Like, I was crouched over here for a few seconds looking at the bottles.
So on the paper, I wrote WTKENT Spirit. Jamie ended up grabbing the Wilderness Trail Bottled and Bond. So I understand why she made the mistake. So it's the Wilderness Trail Bottled and Bond, which is not in my top 25. It's a good bourbon. I like it. So Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit is going to automatically be moved to the last group. So I'll have 6 in group 4. So next time I can either do round 2, group 1, or we can do group 4, and you'll pick whichever is which. Number 5, Four Roses Small Batch. Number 4 is number 5. Oh, that hurts. It's Baker 7. It is Baker 7. I'm kind of sad. I like Baker 7. It's one of my 5 go-to bourbons for summer.
Okay, that's not the one I tried then.
No, that's a spicier one.
Watch it be the Wilderness Trail I tried.
Like, I love this Wilderness Trail. It's so delicious. Well, even though you screwed up, it still did pretty well. Number 2 is number 1. Number 1, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof. And then number 1 is number 4. Number 4.
Why don't we try it? And you can add it to this little group right here and say if you like it or not. Hey, when you ask an amateur to be on camera and talk about bourbon.
It's funny. That's really good. The Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. Let me see where it would have placed had we not had the screw up. A Maker's is a little better. I think the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, had it made it into the competition tonight, would have placed somewhere between the number 2 and the number 3. So if this were eliminated because it's not actually in the group, this would have been number 3. So this is DQ'd. This ends up being in 3rd place. And the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, in my opinion, comes between the Jack Daniels and the Bakers. So in the competition, it could have affected the outcome. So yeah, we're definitely going to put the Kentucky Spirit in the next group. Push forward one of the disqualified ones from a previous one, one of the number 3s that I think is the better of the number 3s. So then we'll have a 6 versus 6, so that at least that way I won't have a clue as to which group we're in. And that'll work. Sorry, Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, you were left behind. Apologies. Your labels should be bigger and easier to read. Or I should type things out in full sentences and not abbreviate. I'm kind of surprised by the Four Roses Small Batch Select. I really like Four Roses in the past, but it didn't stand up very well tonight. The Baker's, which is one of my go-tos, I always drink it, I always enjoy it. In a blind, it didn't do very well. It's good, it's dense, but for some reason the sweetness of the Baker 7 isn't coming through tonight at all. I do like the Wilderness Trail product a lot. Like, I've really recommended them in the past, and maybe I should have included them in my top 25, and it was on the fence, you know, it was in the top 30 probably.
Maybe I did it on purpose.
You did it to mess me up. Bourbon, Tennessee whiskey, whatever, I don't even care. This Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof, even though it's 129.2 proof, it's a fantastic product. I can't recommend it highly enough. And Maker's 101 came through. I had a good time. You had a good time?
Yeah.
All right.
Even though I screwed up. I had a good time drinking.
You had some 1910, and I'm proud of you for having some.
A lot of 1910.
You had 2 pours of 1910. I'm pretty happy. We're going to continue this. This is part 4. We've got 4 more parts to go before we figure out what is my favorite bourbon. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video as we search for my favorite bourbon. And until next time, find a bottle you love.
Bye, everybody. And that's a wrap.
I was holding it as long as you would actually not say anything.
Wow, I would have let you hold it all day.
I
was going to start sipping on my drink and cut all that.
Oh, I will. I'm going to cut you clean out. I'm going to literally draw the line right here. It'll be just me and the whiskey.
I'll leave.
No, don't leave. People like you. They like you more than me. You're good. You didn't have, this one I'm not mad at you at all. Other ones I've been furious.
You're nice to me on camera.
Yeah.
Watch, I screwed up and like pulled something random down, and you're like, "Oh, I love this! I love this!
Oh my god, this is the most amazing thing.
What is this?
Hibiki Harmony Japanese whiskey is my favorite bourbon.